What's up guys, my name is Gabriel and today we're going to be taking a look at something I've wanted to work with for a while now. Airsoft teching is a super complex and interesting part of the airsoft sport that I've always wanted to get into, but I was a little too afraid to do so. But along my airsoft journey, I have made a lot of friends, one of them being Naru. And Naru himself is a tech, but he has another friend, which is a mechanical engineer, and he also works as a tech. So I thought that it would be a great idea just to bring something different to you guys, and so you guys can see a completely different part of the sport. I thought that it would be really cool to take you guys along in the journey and showing you guys exactly what it entails, what they do, why they do it, and honestly just have fun along the way. So I'm not gonna hold up the video any longer. Let's get to it. All right, so today we're going to be teching on my EMG Sharp Bros Jack, and we're gonna do a ton of things, half of which I actually don't know. So I'm gonna just let Carlos here explain a little bit further as to what we're doing. So what are you planning on doing with it? Like, so
far, what you want to do is mostly work on the hop up, right?
And the other thing is like the trigger has a really weird middle ground.
So first we're gonna take care of the Aries one. So we're just gonna punch these pins out, hold the gearbox assembly on the bottom. It's out. Let's first work on it.
It's like I just want the hop up is a little bit weird, so I wanted to try and switch it out, but like I don't know if there's any way of improving it without having to switch it out.
I got you covered, fam.
Let's take this riser out. I think we're gonna have to disassemble the whole like front end of this.
No, that's gonna be fun. So how you doing over there, Naru? Carlos is going through the exact same thought process I went through. Just like a very blank state of mind, like, I'm
gonna have to disassemble everything.
Coming through, guys.
And how would you go about that?
With patience.
Yeah, because like I took off those because I was trying to see if I could get the hop-up chamber out, but literally it just does not want to pull out.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
What?
Brute force.
Brute force!
What was holding it?
Nothing, I just did.
Alright, it's out! Woo!
It wouldn't hurt that much, actually.
Yeah, because it's plastic.
Hey, it's good plastic.
We use this to take barrel nuts out of guns. Oh! Alright.
I don't like that. Oh, you got me scared. I'm like, did you break it?
No, literally. There we go. Alright. And as I thought, there's a screw there. There's a little screw holding the actual hop-up. So, if you want to change the actual hop-up, you have to dismantle all of this.
If you want to change the hop-up, don't
put it back in.
Oh yeah, you have to work on it. So it doesn't
You're
like...
just gonna put it back in. So like, how long have you been teching?
I've been teching like... since I met you, I think it was when I was 18?
9. I've been in this sport for 11 years.
You've been in the sport since I was 7?
Basically. I was teching before you had diapers on, boy.
About 9 years, yeah?
Yeah, I've been teching for around 9 years.
You graduated on what?
I graduated mechanical engineering.
Which makes about sense.
This, we're gonna give it to the wizard over there. Work his black magic. He's just gonna work on air seal, bucking, nub, all of that.
Basically trying to make the suckiest hop-up into a decent hop-up.
Yes.
You're just gonna put a Pringle chip as a spacer.
He's actually fixed hop-ups and make them like twice as better than like $50 hop-up systems with just a piece of tape and cardboard.
I can make you a nub with a pencil.
Yes, that is true.
You sound like John Wick.
I once saw him
Build a hop-up nub.
with a bouncer.
Alright, so what we doing?
We're gonna take the entire gearbox assembly out.
Ah, that's scary.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know why I said it like a little kid. Ah, that's scary. Yeah, I would never do this on my own. And you guys, if you want to experiment with things like this, boneyard guns or stuff like that, but do not do it on your own rifle straight off the get-go if you're afraid of like breaking.
Don't do that.
Anyway.
For you to dismantle one of these, on this specific one, you're gonna need a very long hex, or one that has an extension. On typical rifles, typical M4s, you're gonna use a long Phillips head. Also, I recommend some grease. This is some hobby grade grease they use for differentials for RC cars. And also, if you're gonna shim it, you're gonna need quite a few shims, anywhere from 0.1 mils all the way to 0.3. If you guys hear some weird sounds, I got my parrot right here in front of me. So the last thing you're gonna need is a nice set of pliers. You have no clue how important these have saved me.
I always have a set of like multi-tool pliers in my bag, be it usually like Leatherman or Snap-on or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to take this screw out.
What's the plan now?
Now we're gonna have to take the motor out, take the pins out, mag release. After that, we just slide out the. Hopefully, it'll be that easy to take this
Hopefully,
out.
we'll just slide it out. What? She sounds like old World War II radio interferences. Stop like tapping into the Russian intercom.
Are you okay?
It's okay. You should quit vaping, Naru. It's hurtful.
I like a vape.
Yeah, you do. You vape emotionally.
I vape airsoft.
I just vape BB.
It's like.
I heard bring Yosef, so like, your bird alright, dude?
So sometimes it's difficult, so you just grab it from here,
Just push it from the bottom out.
and there we go.
Ooh.
And it's out.
And there's a version 2 gearbox.
Actually, no.
Dang.
This is a version 2 Aries gearbox.
Just so you guys can see, this is what we're talking about right here. This is the actual MOSFET unit, right?
Yep.
This is basically what controls your trigger and also what protects your contacts so that they don't get fried with like a really strong battery.
You're gonna wanna push it in, slowly
Oh
turn
my
it.
god.
I don't know what you just said.
How? How did you break my bird?
What's the step now?
Okay, so we took the spring out. Pretty simple. We're gonna have to take this top module off so we can actually take it apart. You're gonna want to be gentle with this. Here we have the simplest trigger mechanism, which is literally
Face button.
a button. So as you can see. So now we have that out, we can start taking apart all the screws. You're gonna want to take like a flat head and start opening it up. As soon as you feel some tension on it, grab here and grab the trigger. Make sure nothing flies out. Once everything is out, there you go. See? It was on tension here. And also, the trigger is on tension.
What we doing?
We're gonna just clean it up. We're just gonna position all these shims back to where they should be. Now we're gonna take this apart. When I'm doing the shimming and clean of the gears, I like to take every single piece apart. So piston head, cylinder, tapper plate, nozzle, trigger here. We're gonna first take the first gear out. See, there's a shim already in place.
So what are the shims for everybody
Shims.
at home?
You want the gears to be in contact with each other. You want to make it so it's in between the bottom of the gearbox and in between the bottom of this gear, so they're just sliding underneath.
Exactly, so it's basically like a fine-tuning of spacing so that it works as effectively as it can.
Pretty much what I'm gonna do now is just I'm gonna take this and just bend it outwards.
And that's in order to get a finer trigger response.
A finer trigger response.
All right, how do we make sure that the shimming is good?
Okay, first of all, we're gonna start with the big one. The big one is the middle heart of the entire gear set. This gear needs to be the lowest point of the entire gearbox, so everything can, you know, just stand on top of it. Because you don't want it to be like that, but you don't want it to be this high either. You want it to be like something in between, right there.
As close as you can get it while still giving it some space.
Exactly. So we're just gonna move it, and if you don't feel any resistance and it's just free spinning like this, it's fine. Leave it as is.
Okay. Like I said, I really don't know anything much about teching at all. This is completely new for me.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought it was a great video for the channel, because a lot of people don't know about teching, like I don't know that much about teching either. It's something very different and it's something really interesting. I actually want to learn how to tech, and I want to be able to take my own rifles in the future. But obviously you got to start by seeing how it works.
Example. Look at that.
Dude, that's crazy. That's like perfect.
That's how it should be. We already verified all the bottom shims are perfectly fine. So we're gonna take the top one and we're gonna close it up.
All right, so why are you closing it up?
I'm closing it up, not all the way, just these two screws. So I can actually go, put my finger in here and actually feel if there's any resistance.
It's basically just moving the gears from right there
Yep.
in order to see if it's running well. This is really important because if your gears don't move well, it could literally destroy your gun. Like it could destroy your internals and it can make it completely useless. So this part is super important, and that's why I said that you should be very sure to know if you can actually fix something and actually open your gearbox, because if you cannot, it is a really big mistake and you probably should just take it to a tech.
I'm gonna do a little bit of fine tuning because
Bit of wiggle.
there's a little bit of wiggle going up I don't want to have that much wiggle, so I'm just going to put a very thin shim there. So now we're going to start greasing it. You're going to grab it and just go.
Nice.
You're going to start the same as when we started. Big gear, top gear, and then just bottom gear. We're just going to take a little screwdriver. Just going to go through here. Just start greasing it.
So there is a thing as too much grease.
Yes, there is a thing as in too much grease. This is actually completely fine. This is actually a little less than what most people might think of grease.
I can feel that I hit a trigger for you.
Yeah.
Like, you immediately perked up.
Yeah, because a lot of people come over and say, I don't know what's wrong with my rifle. Yuck. Yuck. They just grab like an industrial grease gun and just go. I give it a few rotations to spread it on the other gears.
It's basically just to evenly spread out the...
Pretty much, because if I just
grease.
put it on and just not do that, it's just gonna fly everywhere.
Don't worry about it. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. Don't breathe on it.
Don't sneeze. They're making them with...
Oh, God.
See? I thought you blew too hard.
Alright, here's a little trick that every tech does to like increase the PS. Where's the Teflon? What you're gonna want to do is grab this here. Make sure nothing is on the inside.
So this is going to help with air seal?
Yes, 100%.
And that's going to help me how?
More consistency, less variation, more FPS. Usually want to put just 1 or 2 layers of it. So after that, you just take a very sharp X-Acto or utility knife. You just start cutting the excess of this.
We checked the shims, removed the gunky grease, put in the right amount of grease, and basically you put the Teflon around the piston head? No,
not piston head, around the cylinder head.
Cylinder head. Now you're just greasing up the actual...
The piston teeth, yep.
teeth. Is the trigger feeling good? Is the trigger feeling smexy?
Let me put this here and you tell me.
I just see it, I'm like, garbage, just throw it. Oh, that feels nice. Yeah, and it still has enough travel to not make it like an accidental shot. So you're just putting in the spring guide?
Yep, pretty much.
It's like so full of grease, I'm just like trying to hold it properly. We've closed the gearbox.
That's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, now it's literally putting everything back together. Nado, you already did the
Yeah.
aero assembly, right?
Alright,
Nice.
now,
Nice.
here we go.
That gave me flashbacks to like chiropractic videos where they're like, all right, breathe in. I'm gonna love seeing that footage back because it looks so primitive. It's like
So sensitive, even on safe, you can hear it. Mira.
so I have no save.
When it wants to. There we go.
We're pretty close to done. It only took us like 3 hours.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But honestly, teching is fun. Like, it's literally, it's tedious work, but it's fun. It's entertaining. Obviously, to the right people. All right, let's check if I actually do have a safety or not. I
Yep.
do not.
You do not have a safety.
I don't have a safety.
There we go.
And the next purchase, 11 for one.
Just the.
It's not
quickest one.
it's not both on. If you have to do some adjustments.
Exactly.
But
Give me the mag.
test it to see if I'm getting the right one.
All right, so I'm gonna test it out. That thing is, I don't have a safety now. I kind of traded my safety for my trigger
We
response.
don't need safety when we're going.
But that, don't worry, that just trains trigger discipline. No, when we were shooting from the fence, it would start falling at like the edge of the bamboo. All right, so we have a box target set up, and I'm gonna be shooting it from like the opposite side of the yard. You said this is
75 feet.
All right, so I'm gonna be shooting it from 75 feet. I'm also gonna show off the trigger response on this. Try it. Dude, that sweet spot though, you can hear when you get into it.
Just in case they're going through, they're keeping going.
Yeah, they're going through and you can still see the trajectory behind them. And just for good measure. Yeah, I reached the bamboo. This is crazy, dude. You guys did an insane job. That is
I
absolutely
deliver
crazy.
my promises.
One for good measure. You saw that one?
And it kept going.
It kept going way up. I want to give a huge thank you to Carlos and Naru. They did an outstanding job, and I really hope that it shows well through the video and that you guys got a little bit of a better understanding of what teching actually endures, because it is a very, very difficult process, but I can tell that it's one that's completely worth it. Follow me on my social medias. That's it. Have a nice day, and everybody stay sharp.